Hello my dear viewers, we are discussing 10th class first lesson and we are in Himalayas topic. In our previous session, we have discussed about Himachal or Middle Himalayas. In this session, we are going to learn about the final Himalayan range, that is Shivalik. So we'll discuss today about Shivalik. As you know that this Shivalik also called as Outer Himalayas. Dear viewers, you know that first Himalayan range was Himadri. Himadri was formed first. So after the million years, then the second one, Himachal, was formed. After the million years after Shivalik was formed, there is a gap between one mountain range and another mountain range about their formation. So first Greater Himalayas was formed, then after Himachal was formed, then last Shivalik was formed. Maybe in the future one more range also may be formed. Another range of Himalaya also may form. It will be depends upon geological activity inside the earth. Okay, it will be depends upon the plate movement system. Okay, let's see Shivalik system. As you know that this Shivalik is lower than the remaining two. Once you recall or remember, highly elevated or highest peaks were located in Himadri. Average elevation was 6,100 meters and in the Shivalik 3,500 to 4,500, right? But in the Shivalik, the height of the Himalayas were little bit less, that is 900 to 1100. Okay, so first point is these are recently formed. In the beginning I said first Greater Himalayas were formed, then Himachal was formed, then these are just recently formed. Dear students, as you know that Himalayas were formed about 40 to 50 million years ago. 40 to 50 million years ago these Himalayas were formed and Shivalik was the last range, right? These Shivaliks were stretched from here, this area to this area. So this area is Potwar Plateau. Potwar Plateau region. Potwar Plateau region to here Brahmaputra Valley. Right. These are stretching from Potwar Plateau to Brahmaputra Valley about 2,400 kilometers long. 2,400 kilometers long. Where is Potwar Plateau? Potwar Plateau located in Pakistan. Right. Let's see. So 2,400 kilometers long. These are also parallel to the Himadri and Himachal. These are also parallel to Himadri and Himachal. Let's see the width of the Shivalik. Once you remember, the width of the Himadri 500 kilometers to 200 kilometers. But here the width is 50 kilometers in Himachal. 50 kilometers in Himachal and 15 kilometers in Arunachal Pradesh. So I am writing HP means Himachal Pradesh, ARP means Arunachal Pradesh. So width also decreased, size also decreased, their height also decreased. Shivaliks were not elevated than the Himadri and Himachal, and the width also less while compared to Himadri and Himachal. Okay, width is 50 kilometers and 50 kilometers to 15 kilometers. We see we can find a gap. For example, this is, you consider this is Himachal, you consider this is Himachal, and you consider this is Shivalik, this is Shivalik. So between these two there is a gap, 80 to 90 kilometer gap was there. Okay, there is a between Himachal and Shivalik or different mountains, there is 80 to 90 kilometers gap was there. So this gap was filled by the rivers. So this gap was filled by the rivers. So these are the rivers. This gap was filled by the rivers. Right. Example, Teesta River. Teesta River, it is originates in Sikkim. It originates in Sikkim. It drains between, it drains in near Assam. It drains into Ganga River. It drains into Ganga River, Teesta River, and another rivers, other small rivers also joins into the gaps. So due to this gap, whenever Himalayan rivers are flowing from the top, whenever the Himalayan rivers are flowing from the top, it brings silt, clay, sediment, and these will be deposits. So these will be deposited in the gap. Okay, I hope you understand what I am saying. So there is a gap was there. How much gap? 80 to 90 kilometers gap was there. This gap was filled by the water brought by Teesta River and other small tributaries or distributaries or small channels which are coming from the Himalayas. Okay, whenever Himalayan rivers are coming down, they are bringing certain material. So that material is being deposited in this gap. Okay, so due to that, for example, this is a river. Whenever river is going on, so there is a mountain. So what is happening here? This is a river. This is a river and this is a mountain. Whenever river is flowing, the mountain is obstructing the flow. Whenever river is flowing, mountain is obstructing the flow. So whenever the mountains or mountain ranges were obstructing the flow, what will be happen here? Lakes were formed. What formed? Lakes were formed. And what will formed? Valleys were formed. Valleys. Valley. Okay? Valley formed. Right. I repeat. This gap also there. In between the gap, sometimes, somewhere, not everywhere, somewhere, the mountains obstruct the Himalayan river flow. Himalayan rivers are coming from the top, but suddenly somewhere one mountain is stopping the flow. Whenever mountain stopping the flow, the water would stagnate it. Water would be stopped. So whenever the water stopped, it became lake. Okay. Whenever the water flow continuously, it will become V-shaped valley. Example, this is a mountain. This is a mountain. Whenever the water flowing from this side, here V-shaped valley will form. V-shaped valley will form. So this is an important thing you need to understand. Whenever water flowing, so due to mountain ranges, water will be obstructed by the mountains. Then lakes and valleys were formed. Okay. Whenever lakes and valleys were formed, for example, lake was formed, but sometimes the lakes also will become dry. These lakes also get dried, right? Example, okay, one lake is formed. This is a river, and here one mountain was there. Due to mountain, the water was stagnated. So due to the stagnation of water, big lakes were formed, but this water drained. Okay, whenever the water coming towards to higher upper course, whenever the water coming from upper course, it brings certain material, certain deposits, silt, sediment, clay, stone, it will deposit. The fine clay, fine sediment, fine silt, it will bring from the top, and it will be, now it is depositing here. But when the lakes are drained, this will become plain. This will become plains. Plains are very fertile. As you know that plains are very fertile, very good plain, very suitable for agriculture. I repeat, when the lakes are drained, the plains are formed. So these plains are called as dunes or dowrs. Dunes or dowrs. What are dunes? They may ask you, what are dunes? Dunes are located between Himachal and Shivalik. These are located between Himachal and Shivalik. Actually, there was a lakes and valleys were there. These valleys and lakes were dried. Whenever these will become dry, there is a sediments and silt were there. So these silt and sediments become plains. So these plains are called as dunes and dowrs. There was an example of dune. As you know that there is an example of dune, that is Dehradun. That is what? Dehradun. Dehradun is such kind of a dune which is formed due to this. Okay, example just now I explained to you, due to this Dehradun plain was formed. So Dehradun plain was 75 kilometers long. 75 kilometers long, and the width was 15 to 20 kilometers wide. 50 to 20 kilometers of wide, 75 kilometers of long. So this is about Dehradun plain. Dehradun plain. And there are certain other dunes also there, like Kotli Dune, like other dunes, Kotli Dune and Patli Dune. Patli dunes also there. So dunes are nothing but, these are the valleys actually, but this valley got filled by the sediments, silt, clay brought by Himalayan rivers. Later it formed as a plains. So one of the important plain is Dehradun. The length of the Dehradun plain was 75 kilometers long, 15 to 20 kilometers of wide. So this is about Shivalik, central theme of Shivalik. Let's see, Shivaliks also extended in other states. Shivaliks also extended in other states. Let's see in what are the states where extended this Shivaliks. Okay, next. Right, as you know that Himalayan ranges were stretching from Jammu Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh, 2400 kilometers of long. See children, so I want to explain very clearly. This is, yeah, right. So this is Jammu and Kashmir. This is Jammu and Kashmir, and here this is Arunachal Pradesh. This is Arunachal Pradesh. What is happening, you know, the western boundary is Jammu Kashmir. The western boundary is Jammu Kashmir. Then what is the eastern boundary? Eastern boundary is Purvanchal or Brahmaputra Valley. Brahmaputra Valley. Eastern boundary is Brahmaputra Valley. Brahmaputra Valley. Yeah, as I said, this is the western boundary. Jammu Kashmir is the western boundary, but eastern boundary is Brahmaputra Valley. As you know that there is a Brahmaputra river. Okay, this is Brahmaputra river, red line. This is Brahmaputra river. When Brahmaputra river flowing, this Brahmaputra river is the eastern boundary of Himalayas. Very, very important. Very, very important. And as you know that there is a Dihang. There is a Dihang river. This is what? Dihang. Dihang. So after the Dihang also one river, Dihang Valley or Dihang river. In Arunachal Pradesh, after Dihang Valley, the Himalayas were take extension towards to southernward. I repeat, the Shivaliks were taking extension towards to southernward. So here Himalayas were taking hairpin bend. Himalayas were taking downward bend or southern extension. Himalayas were extended towards to the southern side. This is we called as hairpin bend. Hairpin bend. At where these are taking hairpin bend? After the Dihang Valley. I repeat, Shivaliks were taking hairpin bend. Where is they are taking hairpin bend? Here. Here they are taking hairpin bend. Where? After Dihang Valley, Himalayas, Shivaliks were taking hairpin bend or syntaxial bend. syntaxial. This is also called as syntaxial bend. These are also called as syntaxial bend, and these are extending towards to southernward. These are extending towards to southernward. It's very, very important. Okay, so this is the eastern boundary. Eastern boundary. Simply they may ask you, what is the eastern boundary of Himalayas? Eastern boundary of Himalayas, Brahmaputra Valley. But after the Dihang, okay, after Dihang Valley, okay, extension towards to south, so we can see that Himalayan mountain ranges also we can find in the northeastern states. Northeastern states we can find Himalayas in the northeastern state. So many students, they thought that northeastern states are not part of the Himalayas. No, it is a part of Himalayas. But you are asking that, sir, there is no snow, there is no ice, how it become Himalayas? These are also part of Himalayas. These are also extension of Shivaliks. These are also extension of Himalayas. So whatever they extended in northeastern states, these are called as Purvanchal. So these places, whatever these mountains, so I said these are the mountain now. So these mountains were called as Purvanchal. These mountain ranges were called as Purvanchal. What are these? These are called as northeastern state, called as Purvanchal. In, better to write as in northeastern states, these are called as Purvanchal. So Purvanchal in Arunachal Pradesh, I'll explain to you. Okay, you understand that the southern extension of Himalayas are called Purvanchal. Very, very important. Purvanchal. The southern extension of Himalayas called as Purvanchal. Let's see. For example, this is Arunachal Pradesh. This is what? Arunachal Pradesh. This Purvanchal in Arunachal Pradesh, these are called as Patkai. These are called as Patkai. Arunachal Pradesh after what? Arunachal Pradesh after Nagaland. This is Nagaland. So in Nagaland, these were called as Naga Hills. And in Nagaland, next in Manipur, this is Manipur. In Manipur, these are called as Manipur Hills. In the next one, this is Mizoram. In Mizoram, these are called as Mizo Hills or Lusai Hills. Not only that, but also there is two different states are there. Here one state is what? Assam. One state is Assam, and another state was Meghalaya. Then in Assam, the Himalayas in Assam called as Kachar Hills. In Meghalaya, these were called as Garo, Khasi, Jaintia. Hills. So my dear viewers, dear students, you must understand that Shivaliks were also extended in the northeastern states. These were extended in the Assam, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, okay, and also West Bengal. In West Bengal, you see Darjeeling. They may also ask you, does the Himalayas are existed in West Bengal? Yes, Darjeeling is such a place. Darjeeling, Jalpaiguri, these districts are the part of the Himalayas. Okay, so Himalayas are extended in the 11 states and 2 UTs, 2 union territories. Himalayas are extended in 11 states and 2 UTs. What are the 2 UTs? These 2 UTs are Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh. So this is about Shivaliks. So children, I repeat, Purvanchal are locally called as with different names. These Purvanchals were locally called as different names. In Assam, Kachar Hills. In Meghalaya, Garo, Khasi, Jaintia Hills. In Arunachal Pradesh, Patkai. In Nagaland, Naga Hills. In Manipur, Manipuri Hills. In Mizoram, Mizo Hills or Lushai Hills. So these are natural boundary to India. Really, the Shivaliks are really natural boundary to India. They are protecting us. They are protecting us. So that's what the Shivaliks also called as Eastern Highlands. Shivaliks also called as Eastern Highland. Remember the point. These also called as Eastern Highland. Very, very important. So important about in Shivaliks are Purvanchal. Purvanchal locally known as with different names. So mostly the Shivaliks or northeastern extension were mostly composed with the sedimentary rocks, sedimentary and sandstone rocks, sandstone. Shivaliks in the northeastern states or southern extension were mostly composed with the sedimentary and sandstone. So this is about Shivaliks. So let's see now importance of Himalayas. Importance of Himalayas. It's very important question. Thrice this question came indirectly, once directly and twice indirectly. Question appeared in 10th class board exams. So importance of Himalayas. Importance of Himalayas. How you have to write? How you have to write? As you know that this is a 4-mark question. This is a 4-mark question. What is the importance of Himalayas? So we have to write 10 points. Actually we have to write 10 points for the long answers. So importance of Himalayas. First point, Himalayas plays significant role in climate control, or Himalayas plays an important role in influencing the climate. Significant role, better to write as significant role in climate. Okay, Indian climate. In Indian climate, Himalayas plays vital role. Southwest monsoon, northeast monsoon, temperature variations. Next, second one is Himalayas are prevent cold winds from Central Asia, Siberia. If Himalayas would not there, India would become cold desert, because Himalayas are preventing cold winds which are coming from Central Asia. Next is natural barriers. As you know that these are protecting India from foreign invasion. Himalayas are natural barriers. Himalayas are prevent cold winds from Central Asia. Himalayas play significant role in climate. Next, Himalayas not only natural barriers. Himalayas are source of perennial river. Perennial rivers. Perennial means what? Perennial means Himalayan rivers are perennial rivers, where there is a continuation of flow. Throughout the year water available. The river which can flow throughout the year, it is called as perennial. In Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, Krishna, Godavari rivers are not perennial, because throughout the year it can't flow. Only in the time of the monsoon, rainy season only we can see the water. In the summer it will become like it will look like as desert. Okay, 1 2 3 4 source of perennial river. Next, plains are formed. How plains are formed? Plains are formed due to the Himalayas. And agricultural development. When there is a plains and there is a agricultural development, like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, these areas are stretched by plains. Okay, so wherever plains there is a agricultural development. So these plains are formed by the rivers. Next, because of Himalayas, tourism, okay, tourism and pilgrimage, tourism and pilgrimage developed in the Himalayan regions. Next, rich in biodiversity, different kind of plants, medicinal herbs. Okay, so these are growing in Himalayas. And Himalayas also very famous for apples, Shimla apples, very famous for apples. And Himalayas also source for hydel power. So how many points you have to write? Some of the points you may not have in your textbook, but these are also points. Not only you, most of the students, they think that whatever the points are available in the textbook, you have to write that only. No, you can write more than that. You can write extra also. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 points completed. You can also write, if Himalayas would have not there, India would become cold desert. So this is about importance of Himalayas. This is short one. If you write the same to same, you will get 4 out of 4 marks, pakka, guarantee. So this is about Himalayas. So by this video, we have finished about Himalayas, 3 Himalayan important ranges, and what are the significant, we have finished. So I wish you all the best. Thank you. Jai Hind.